Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Geeky Nomads podcast. You know me, I'm Yasser.
Oh, I thought I was listening to a podcast. I'm sorry, I forgot you were recording. Uh, it's just me. So, very good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're from. This is the Nathan of Ethan Schmans. Just around. And to apologize, this episode you will see me eating, drinking. So, yes, to episode 6, 2 of season 3.
Well, episode 6 in terms of us doing it for the sixth time up in the air. As you know, Khan actually had to do a last minute trip again back to Vancouver because to support Team Qatar. Yeah, you can see he's just turned out the window. It's still daylight when he just took off from Seattle.
It's about 5 p.m. in Seattle, and I think about 7:30 by here. So in Houston. Oh, Dallas. Austin.
It's actually eight. I'm actually 2 hours ahead of Seattle, so it's right now showing me 8:20, and I still have daylight. So minus 2 hours is like 6:20, say. And Khan's definitely over the Canadian airspace, so he's somewhere over one of the territories.
It was crazy when I was in Vancouver. It was 10 p.m. and there were a lot of Qatari fans who had come for the game. They were just around 10 p.m. and still sunlight. And I feel like living up on the north to a fountain.
Yeah, it's because I mean, if people know a little bit of the sciences, you know, the Earth is slanted and tilted. So of course, there's more sunlight at the northern parts as it rotates and all. So yeah, I know. Just imagine if they were fasting during this time, they'd be like, "When is iftar?"
Yes, but if that is when I come, you're going to have a fun, they're going to be done. It'll be a support.
Yeah, that's actually a challenge for people who live in like in the north in a Nordic Scandinavia area, because for them it's like you know they're like couple of hours, okay, so we're done everything, but sometimes they have the exception of maybe following Saudi's time.
Well, here we are bringing you another episode of Tech in a Region. And
We have a
this
lot.
time, we have a lot. I think we've got everything from Meta to the World Cup to the big tech. So we get rid under 45 minutes or so.
Oh yeah, and as you can see, Khan doesn't have his mic because, like I said, he actually traveled light. So it's like we said, we like to keep it raw. But I want to start with I think the first biggest thing for our podcast, which is just so today's recording date for me is Saturday, June 20th. So 10 days ago, we crossed another big milestone on Spotify, and it was 1 year plus a few weeks since we crossed that first stage of our milestone, which was last year around 17th or 16th of May. It was like that's a couple of weeks. We crossed 250 plays, streams, and downloads on Spotify itself. 1 year later, from that date, plus a few weeks, we just crossed 500.
Bravo to us and to everyone who has been supporting and listening into it. This really appreciable.
I mean, it just shows, I think people have been really hungry for something more tailored, especially when they want to follow and learn more about how much of the global tech comes into the region and what all they're doing. But it's a big sign of reassurance and confidence in us. So thank you to people who are watching and listening to us. Uh, to give you an idea, we've had listeners coming all the way from the United States, even Canada, in Europe, like Germany and UK. Of course, we can't forget we have our listeners in the Middle East from Saudi, UAE, and Qatar. And, we've even seen an occasional, like from South Asia and Southeast Asia. So it's obvious people want to learn more and at least from a different perspective what's happening in the region.
Hmm. As you've been saying across all our episodes recently, Middle East is becoming the region that people are not talking about. And it definitely has more potential than what people think currently it is capable of. So I believe we can just keep on going.
Exactly. And I would say, I think us doing a good number of these episodes up in the air, using the power of Starlink Wi-Fi has probably also helped elevate us to that because podcasting has taken off.
You know what we should do? We should branch our podcast. We should say on the ground in the air. Hey, that's very new, man.
I am overwhelmed and trying to continue. I don't know how we're gonna juggle that, but I think we'll see. But I think what's been great for us is that we sort of stood out in this space, especially with a number of times we've done. Hey, we've even done an episode with Shashank where you were up in the air moving, and then he was on the ground moving. So you never know. If we might take it even further. We might add more guests in the same episode.
I would say let's reach out to the International Space Station in NASA, see if they can get.
Podcasting goes galactic.
Why not? Because
Anybody who listens could probably put us in touch with NASA and the team that oversees the ISS and their comms team as well. If we could do that 36,000 feet, maybe we can take it out of this world.
Why not? Like, there's no harm in trying. The only thing that will come is rejection, which will be a no, which is completely fair. So let's give it a shot. If there's someone out there that can help us out, reach out to NASA, get this message to them that we will have, it will also be Guinness World Record as you do. Someone on the ground, someone in the air, someone is way above.
Yes, then that is like podcasting to infinity and beyond.
Very much indeed.
So if anyone's listening, knows people in NASA's comms team and all, we have a website, the Geeky Nomads. Come find us on Spotify and YouTube. That was just a plug.
I love more.
Khan just just had his soup taken away because he just finished it. So first big now after our 500 plays milestone now. I think the biggest news that's probably come out is just 2 days ago. The United Arab Emirates has become the first country in the Middle East to pass a law for minimum age for using social media.
Indeed, but I think even Finland or some of the countries.
Australia, Canada, UK, they've all been doing it. Some have started implementing it. Others are still going through their legislative process. But the fact is that the UAE has made this move. I have a feeling every major Arab country is going to probably emulate that same thing. What's your take on that?
I don't think this would be becoming a thing of every other absolutely. Mainly the reason being that Dubai is portraying itself to be a nation different from the Arab nations itself. It has its culture and everything still in its roots and grounded. But the way it is portraying itself is towards being a Western country, towards being Asian country, somewhere like Singapore or China or, a European country. How much would we see this adoption in Saudi Arabia? 50-50. Same for Qatar as well. And would you see it in Bahrain and Kuwait? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, those other 3 GCC countries, I doubt they've come to that stage. But, Saudi has a big digital population, and I have a feeling they may be thinking about it. I mean, the UAE is more international as such. I mean, Qatar still passed that influencer licensing law yet? I just remember there were talks of it.
And I think it was very vague. When it initially came out, it was all about you need to be registered through an agency to be able to. The whole idea about the influencer thing in Qatar is more on the advertising itself. So if you as an influencer are advisor promoting something, you need to get licensed in the Ministry of E-commerce. Without that, you cannot do it anyway. So I think that's what they were trying to control. So in terms of narrative that is being said out for any offers, promotions, brand, etc., is well within the bounds of the legal system.
And yeah, but I think when you look at the UAE, it's always the beacon or the face of the region, especially not just what I mean. For them to take the step, it's almost you can say it even goes into especially like just to going into something next is like Meta has rolled out age controls globally for all their platforms, basic from Instagram, Facebook, Messenger. So these platforms are waking up and realizing that a lot of countries are passing rules and laws about it. So I'm guessing some are trying to get ahead of it before more countries get on. And some are, I think, learning it from the hard way that, okay, otherwise they're losing out on things. I mean, no, I mean, you know how people are obsessed with Instagram in the region and
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
especially like binary 10 teams have saved. Have been in this default setting for a very long time. Even if you look at the parents of today, although they are very much pushing towards the children having access to digital devices, they very much control to an extent of what they have access to. So even though if it doesn't become mandatory, yes, thank you.
Don't mind Khan, he's just getting his bread portions. And
Thank you.
hummus and I can't remember what else is what
So this is the Arabic
meze.
essay. So I have something with your hummus.
I feel like the camera just moved up to the point that now I can only just see up until your chin.
Nothing more.
Well, like you just make the cut. It's like I see. It's like yeah. It's like if you can just lower it down because I can see a lot of above. It's like they say. It's going. Oh, that's good. Oh, perfect. Now we have
That is
better
Alexander Shaker. We've been having it's
turbulence.
not 6-7, but
Yes, 6, 7 up in the air.
no. Going back to that, I'll just waking up and notice, how regardless of all these applications or countries regulations coming into effect, when parents already take charge of what their children should have access to. So, I mean, in a government saying what you should and you should not have access to is okay, fair. But then it is only basically more social media, right? When you have the governments like this who are pushing forward digital agenda, entrepreneurship at a young age, how do you want a 10-year-old entrepreneur to market himself if he cannot access social media? Has anyone thought of that?
I mean, if you look at it, the legal age of working in the region is, I think, you have to be at least 18 plus.
Entrepreneurship is not working, right?
Yeah,
You're not bound to someone to make money. You're doing some learning. I mean, there is an Italian, the Spanish kid. He is 8 years, 7, 8 years old. He's a fashion designer. He just makes art for himself. And when I say he's just not an Instagram sensation. His other manages his account on Instagram. He doesn't have access to it. But this guy is a showstopper at many fashion shows, including France. So he has to have a presence. Does he need to manage it? Does he need to have a manager to manage it? Or his parents to manage it? And it's different. What I'm saying is like it shouldn't restrict people from wanting to do more.
yeah, that's true. I mean, it really shouldn't. But I guess, I mean, Khan, you and I have grown up during a different time when the internet. Remember, we had dial-up internet, 28.8 kbps, then 33.6, then 56 kbps dial-up, occupying the phone line, and then DSL came up, and then WAP and GPRS. Then DSL came where you could use the faster internet while still using the phone, and social came out. I mean, I guess it's understandable, especially seeing how there's so many things out there that sort of skirt what's age appropriate. And I think especially given, yes, the UAE is very open and everything, but still they still have one side that's like, yeah, open, that's great, but not too much. But also at the same time, if this is a blueprint, I guess if UAE, I think, will fully have it implemented, I think they've given them a deadline of, I think, by the end of the year, just so that they can all comply with it. And I think the other countries around the region not just the GCC, but like Jordan, Egypt. I mean, Egypt has a big population of social media users as well, and even other like Morocco and all. So I guess they will walk and like wait and see how it works out, and then they'll probably use it as a model to tailor it according to their sovereign borders.
Because you see, any digital action that goes into action hasn't changed yet. So if these countries are doing something that a 13-year-old can have access to social media, so how are brands? Because this is one end of it. The other end of it is the businesses and the brands who deliver products for these people or these ages. How are they going to be able to reach this age criteria people? So I think it all will become a thing at some point.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we'll wait and see on that. But speaking of Meta, uh, we've been seeing so many of these platforms now offering subscriptions with extra perks and all. I mean, just recently, uh, Meta launched Facebook Plus, WhatsApp Plus, and Instagram Plus, and I was like, how is this so different compared to Meta Verified? It's like I guess they're like ads. Yes, will reach so much to a point that they're like, okay, people want some more, so you know what? Maybe we can put it behind a subscription wall. What's your belief on that? I, I mean, the way I see it, I think Snapchat, I think, has been the pioneer and really came up with a great way of adding a subscription tier option to Snapchat Plus. Because apparently, last I checked, I think they have now 25 million plus Snapchat Plus subscribers worldwide. I don't know how many are in the region. I doubt they'll break it down by region because they give a total number. But it's almost like Meta, which is the biggest, is now saying, okay, we have Meta verified, and now we're adding the plus versions of Facebook and all. And there's like what 3.99 for Facebook and Instagram, 2.99 for WhatsApp. And I looked at what they're offering, and I was like, is that even worth it?
Because if you look at it, what is the difference? The only difference is sitting behind is an ad ball, right? Apart from that, if you, in terms of encryption, privacy, blah, 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 you're not offering anything at all. If encryption is going away at some point of WhatsApp, it has already gone away. But if you look at the important nuance that these things or plans add to it is for who?
Hmm.
I do I want to pay $3 $4 or $3.99 $9.99 a month to get what in return. I mean, if you go 10 years, 20 years back when WhatsApp was launched, no one knew what WhatsApp was. Who knew how to use it? They didn't even adapted to it and got here. So this becomes the case. Like this is where I believe um, other competitors in the market should have a look out on because at some point everything led to something else, right? So you've got Telegram, you've got other things that have come into play. So I'm sure it's just gonna be a opportunity for someone else to come up with like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna free everything for free.
I mean, I was just looking at, because I know Instagram's such a big popular thing in the region. I was just looking at it, and literally I was like, this is what they sort of, I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but it's like, if you can, it's like previewing stories with so that whether you like a quick preview, you get story rewatching highlights, search your story viewer list, meaning you can search for the username of anyone who's viewed your stories, unlocking custom fonts for your bio. You know how people try to hack that around? So now that's locked behind Instagram Plus. You can choose a custom app icon, extend your story's expiry. You can pin more posts, create multiple story audiences. Uh, Here's one: only post content to your profile so it doesn't show up on the feed. Only share stories to highlights. So I was like, and this is all for 3.99 per month. Apparently, I believe it's the same price even in the region. Khan, maybe you can when you get the chance, just check on it when you give it in your thing and see if it shows in dollars or it shows in reals. But I was like, okay.
Um,
And
I
if
will
you
say at
compare
my
this to Meta
end,
Verified, which throws in, oh, you can add links to Reels, a couple of links to Reels each month. You get the verified tick. So it's like they've fragmented.
They've fragmented way too much, and it's not going to have much ground time.
Yeah.
People will not like it. I'm like, I'm just looking at customers with the earphones. Who cares for the size my borrow and then what font? Right? Um, Extra profile pins. So I can, my whole feed can be pins
Pin
linking
pro-
my
oh,
best
speaking
friend.
of profile pins, you can now reorder your grid.
For what?
I know.
Instagram for me is a storytelling, regardless of what people use it for. When I post my stories, when I share everything, it's in a sequence, it's in a story. And when they expire, they know it's expired because you missed it, you haven't bought it. So trying to extend by trying to bring all these things, I think it for me it devalues the app more than anything else.
So do you think all these the plus subscription options for WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram was just a quick cash grab and a waste of time?
It's I think this all has been influenced due to TikTok and in US.
Yeah,
I
but it's
think
still working. I you actually use it.
it's still well, no, they've opened up to an opportunity, right? Because if you could force ByteDance to only be the lower majority stakeholder in a company to operate in the US, it can happen to anyone else. So I think the traffic that left TikTok at some point could not monetize themselves as more to Snapchat or various other platforms are available in the US, and they're maximizing opportunity. I believe this is more of a trial and error or something bigger that is yet to come.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see just how well people. I think you also have to ask people and see are they have subscribed to the plus version subscriptions on either Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram and see how well they like it and whether it's even worth it. Because they didn't mention it. It's still not free from ads because I saw that there is. That means you'll still get served ads. It's just they're just selling you a privilege perk of you want to further personalize yourself to get access to some of these features behind a paywall.
Because I have a quote here from it's saving my notes.
Mm.
Naomi Glade,
Yes.
Meta's head of product. She said there are more features coming, and this is a foundation, not a finished product. As I said, this is a beginning of something different, more what they're going to do. They say it's the same playbook that Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube have already run. They all started at some point, like YouTube Shorts, ads free, YouTube viewing, and everything.
That's premium, basically.
So they all went for it. And then, if you combine all of this, you will get the Meta One Plus, which is $799, or
Yeah. So
Meta One Free.
yes. Yeah. So speaking of that, so in addition to this, apparently they're even testing out a few of these other creator focused bundle packages, and lo and behold, they actually mentioned that they're testing one option in Morocco and Saudi Arabia, and the other one is just being tested in Saudi Arabia. So it looks like Meta is now realizing that whatever they test on, they cannot just ignore the Middle East. Now they're actually including them, like maybe one major country or so in each region. Otherwise, I mean, you know how when they test features, it's like, oh, it's somewhere it's either in the US or it's in Brazil or it's in somewhere in Europe because there are a lot of active users there. But I was like, so they're testing the waters, that basically, just to see how well people respond to it.
Because in a region that's constitute to one third of the world's population, right? The whole of Africa, whole of Middle East, and a bit of India, Asia. This region needs to be the forefront of any tech innovations, especially when it comes to platforms like Meta, because the amount of growth it has into lower markets. Because if you go with Meta into Europe, America, and everything, it's very high tier, right? people who have access to mobile devices, access to network and everything, you take that into account as well. But when it comes to, let's say, India, Africa, Egypt, and everything, it is not a necessity. It is a mode of infotainment in a way. They get information and sort of entertainment also. Like you walk anywhere in Europe or America, you won't find people green platforms.
Yeah.
Whereas you come toward Asia, the green platforms.
Mm. Smartphone neck issue. Well, I guess, well, we don't want to that'll so much because I think we could just constantly go in this debate and everything. But also, just going back to these platforms, have you seen what all have they've been doing for the World Cup?
A lot. Everyone is doing something. I think who was this FIFA itself? I'm not sure if you remember the 2022 World Cup. He had an fire card, which was technically your fan ID, which had your photo and everything and gave you access to everywhere. But now, in this World Cup, FIFA, so they give you an ID when you enter the stadium. And all it does is it has a QR code in the back. You scan, you create the account, and then it virtualizes and personalizes the game day for you.
Mm.
Anywhere from AR authentication, view of personalized items that you can buy related to the game, related to the country we were supporting, and a lot of other things. And this is way more than what we saw at the last World Cup.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I mean, given this, like I know Snapchat was like they have a custom lens where I was just luckily I have bookmarked. They were actually allowing people to put the different chant slogans and on faces that the flags show up. And Meta's gone all in, like especially on Threads and on Instagram, and on Facebook, like even showing the scores and all. But I mean, that's only just for like next couple of weeks up until the final. But then we'll see how much people will engage with it, and then maybe after that they'll probably share some numbers as to how people interacted with the World Cup on these platforms. Of course, and you use it as a selling point for future campaigns just to get more advertisers on board.
And, funny thing, last World Cup or even tournaments before, Snap really had a value to the filters, right?
Mm.
Fortunately, this time around, I didn't actually find the filter because I didn't use Snapchat at all while I was on this trip. But it was very, what do they call it? Spring of sports. That's what the
Mm.
activation. And it is something they said, like, we had over how much? Sure. Thank you.
Business class service in the Q suite.
I'm sorry for the interruptions.
No need to be sorry. It's hey, you dine on demand, and that's the shameless plug for it.
Who said, I think Santa said that close to a billion UK active users across Snapchat. So now, out of this billion, how many are actually watching the game first?
Mm.
How many are actually in the US who are local market, like, who, like, hey, so like you who live near a stadium, basement geofence can have access to the field also. So I think things like that. That I somehow, I know they did a like in Jersey reveal, augmented reality experience.
Mm.
The first Snapchat emoji based on for the US soccer team.
Yeah, it's true. But I guess we'll see. So if you've been using any of the features on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok as well, you know what? Just drop a comment on the episode. Just tell us how you've enjoyed using it and whether you found any good value. And also, it's a shameless plug is if you've enjoyed watching and listening to this episode so far, uh, please like and subscribe and share this with your network, family, and friends.
Please do. All we have is you,
Yes,
and all you have is us.
yes.
In a way, it too.
Uh, well, Yeah, exactly. Now, uh, more on Instagram, especially because since the Middle East loves Instagram as such.
The
Uh,
algorithm.
well, the your algo tweak where people can modify what the algorithm recommend is now come to the main home feed of the Instagram app. It first came on Reels, then it came onto the explore section, which was the whole search part, and now on your main home feed. So is this? I mean, Khan. I mean, you have a much bigger audience than me. So do you do you think the algorithm has basically gotten to know you well enough to suggest the content you love engaging with? And have you had a? I mean, have you had to tweak it?
So I remember when I think the creators of great. Thank you. Who's the library? This that's Tabasco sauce. And thank you. So I got served my next main course. Well,
His
I thought.
first main course.
Uh, I was saying was so sort of on the creator app, creator setting in DM. All the people changes. I had to get down here to setting even and also I thought it how you change this changes. Because I need to sit there, it's changed to impress. Come back into something. My major change hasn't been my feed. It has been my just feed edition. Given the World Cup that is going on now, and I have my Panini stickers. So they get more kind of get stickers and probably back in it's very much painted for participant of the tournament. So I was searching for the stickers and probably did a Google search and I had some things in the machine. I have been unable to clear the feed my source pool to get some of the content. I changed my interest and something to do with FIFA. But my bio says I'm the FIFA fan movement ambassador. So I don't know if it fits off that. And recently, a friend they sent me a statement. I had liked a reel about relationship or something. It was Shuru Puspa. I was like, why is it Shuru to you? He married and everything, all that. I was like, I've been going through something. Like, I haven't posted anything since. But Instagram was part of the Meta platform. She's been talking about it on WhatsApp, so stuff, showing DMs and things like this. And it's picking it up. And this upgrading your feed. Then that completely contradicts what we can do to use the algorithm for.
I mean, I don't know if people can see it. So this is like, oh, I just pressed the off button. So this is my uh, your algorithm feed. The ones that penciled icons are the ones that I actually manually added on my own, and others were automatic. So right now it tells me lately you've been into international soccer tournaments, Middle East commerce, and the latest aviation trends. This summary was different actually last week. So almost every week I keep checking. It's a whole different thing. So I mean, it kind of it's, and I actually use this as a means to discover what sometimes I go to the most unexpected sources just to discover what we can talk about on our podcast, and it comes from the most unexpected places. It just lights up a bonfire inside my head.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I
Good
know
eyes.
it's it,
Bonfire
I have a,
gases in
I'm like I'm a full on geek, and I start figuring things out on that. But it's that's basically how they're they've taken this formula, and we'll see. Uh, maybe Khan one day will probably share what his feed gets populated with.
Hmm. I'm using my phone to record this. I would love to show it. And I will next recording. I'll show mine too.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. I'm guessing aviation will definitely be on that, and probably I'm guessing. Well, let's wait until the next episode, and maybe you can show us, and I'll remind you for that. Uh oh, this one's another interesting thing. So Khan, Do you get I mean, I'm guessing. I know you do casually video edit on your phone. What do you use for it?
So, honestly, I used to use CapCut a lot.
Yeah,
And that has been everyone's go-to tool. But as you know, things are changing.
exactly. And edits, ever since it's been at least a year or so since Meta launched it, it's been growing in popularity. And they're finally bringing it to the desktop, just as how CapCut has one. Of course, the thing with CapCut is that they're putting some of the great features behind paywalls, even 1080p exporting, which I was like, what? That's pretty much default minimum standard. Who the hell will watch anything in 720p? And here's another thing. I've been seeing people revolting, saying that right now anyone who's paid for Pro, they're suddenly seeing the subscription value double.
Yeah.
For what?
For no reason.
I know exactly, but but Meta and Edit's team did say that they have a lot of features, but some may require computational resources which they might put behind a subscription, which is understandable and fine. But here's the thing: do you think they might put some of the AI based on other creative features in Meta Verified or in Instagram Plus?
You know what? I think they will do it for free first
Yeah,
because that is the only
just to
way
test the waters.
as to as to see how everyone likes it, how everyone's using it. Because it's not just about the service. At the end, in the back end, the data centers, the processing, blah blah blah. They need to make money for it. From
Yeah.
where they will so you get it. It's like drugs. Once you get used to something, you will want it more and more and more, and you will pay the price for it. They're just using the same analogy, in my opinion.
Well, they did. I've been following their engineers on Thread, so they're like coming soon. So I was like, "Woo, this will be fun." I do hope they make it easy for people to back up their projects to free up space on their smartphones, and then so I'm hoping that will be possible. And I'm guessing they're gonna add an option for people to uh, sync projects from both places, like from mobile to desktop and vice versa. Because CapCut's on both, but
No,
I'm guessing,
this is good. I'm sorry. This is good. I haven't understood. We captured Adobe platforms like this or Canva. Canva, okay, fine. But Adobe and CapCut, they have Apple and Google services on Amazon, AWS. Why, when you are offering a package, you don't offer them a cloud-based service for the storage? It's a win-win.
yeah. But I mean, Meta's not in the whole storage business. I mean, what they would probably do, because even I still have this weekly AMA that Adam does on his stories. He when he talks about it, is like the desktop version will not aim to replace the likes of Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere and DaVinci Resolve, because it's still geared towards smaller creators and all, like us, even though we're podcast creators. So they're putting I mean, they've been on a roll bringing new features on both iOS and Android. I know some have been iOS first just because it's more stable and the hardware is unified and everything as such. Others have been Android only at first. Like I know their restyle feature right now is only in certain countries, including the US. So I tried it. It works only if your clips is short enough. So I guess they're probably figuring out what they can put behind a subscription wall, which might be expensive on resources, and what they can sort of keep free, because they've just enabled people on iOS to export longer videos. Like I think it's like 15 minutes or so now. Uh, but you never know. I mean, it's good competition, and I think CapCut, ByteDance, I don't think they don't care, and I think it's going blindly with the loyalty of people who would be willing to pay for the CapCut Pro subscriptions. I mean, especially when they just doubled it, and I was like, I would much rather pay to buy a license of Final Cut Pro, which the option is still there, or DaVinci Resolve, which is free, and you buy the lifetime version of Studio.
Because this is creating disturbance in the market.
Yeah,
Creating also other brands to come in like, okay, maybe it's people are going to walk over from it, I'm better off with them. Actually, going to Adobe, Premiere Pro,
which is actually there on mobile, by the way. Like they have a rebuilt version of Premiere Mobile for iOS, for iPad and iPhone users. I've been using it since a year. I used it when they were in testing. It was called Project Violet. But it's a fresh start, and they've been patient in getting things out. So they're keeping it free. The only thing they've put in subscription is using the Firefly powered features. Everything else is free. Like you could do like 50, 60 multi-layer tracks of editing on it, and it still doesn't slow down. And even voice cleanup as well. So I know, you know, if you wanted something desktop level and everything, I think Adobe could probably do it. And they might be realizing that, okay, they're losing the battleground in video editing because they're trying really hard. But I guess we'll see. I mean, I look forward to seeing when edits comes. And I'm sure, Khan, you still have an Intel MacBook, if I'm right, Air.
I do.
You need to move. You do know that the next version of Mac OS does not run on Intel anymore.
Yeah. So I think the next time I'm in the US, when I'm bringing my pack it up and then going for an exchange.
And you could go for that 13 or the 15 inch, and they're really, really performant. Like you get two Thunderbolt ports, MagSafe, longer battery life. Right? Just to give people, I'm on my MacBook Pro, not connected to power. We're already 40 minutes in recording, and because I have my camera connected, my mic connected, which is all drawing power from it to power these, I still have 90% battery power.
See, there you go.
So it just shows us how well it is. And more on Meta. So Khan, I don't know. I'm guessing you've seen some people's reels have the auto dubbing option towards uh, Hindi or Tagalog and Spanish and Portuguese and all. So Meta has finally announced. There's no date on it yet, but Arabic dubbing is gonna come powered by Meta AI. Yeah, hopefully. I don't know when, but they haven't given a date. But they're saying it'll come soon. So I don't know how soon is soon, and that'll be good to have. Although the options for these dubbings is also based on account eligibility. Like I think they still put it behind 1,000 followers as such. That's why we don't have a trial reels option, but I have it, and I'm sure you also have it as well. So only non-followers can just trial and seeing it. But that's good.
I mean, Arabic is the next biggest spoken language after possibly Spanish and French and English. So it only makes sense with a lot of people that want to converse in it. And again, focus on the MENA region.
Yeah, not just the MENA region, even the people outside the Middle East region who are Arabic speakers in diaspora, they'll be happy to see, oh, good, I can get. I mean, especially content creators, when they speak, they would love to see the option of Arabic dubbing in their own voice.
I'm good for it. I just want to water for you, sir. Yeah. You can take it, yeah. I'm done. Thank you.
As you can see, Khan's getting the 5-star service in the Q suite. His first main course was just picked up and cleaned up, so I think another one is going to come on his way. But it's going to be good. At least I mean, it opens up more people to watch the content as such, and that way gets it into more eyeballs and more listeners. And I know for us, because at least we also use, well, shameless plug, we also use our personal account to promote the podcast because we have access to features because we meet the criteria. So we still build it up, but I'm looking forward to seeing how Meta AI's Arabic dubbing is going to sound, because I know I've tried it for the other languages on my account, and literally it's like as if I'm a native speaker. But I would love to see how they do it for Arabic, whether it's the Khaliji Arabic or the Egyptian Arabic.
I think it'll be Arabic. They can't really
The Fusha one.
Yeah, we just keep in Arabic, so that's it works well. But it will be worthwhile thing for the region. What's right?
Oh yeah. Oh, Khan, do you use Threads?
Yes, I think that has become a good platform for anything than Twitter. I open the Threads first now if I open anything else.
Well, they did cross 500, 500 million monthly active users, especially giving X some competition. And
I mean, this is again something like highlights that have come on Instagram. The Threads still links to your Instagram.
Well, not anymore. They have removed that option, so
like
people can still sign up for it separately.
People sign up separately, but you still link it going back. That's just if they want to be, they can be an amazingly independent platform. They're part of Meta, which is completely fine, but they should invest more in Threads than they're investing in
I,
Instagram.
I think they will, and I think they're not, but they're just not rushing it because I know a lot of features that are here. Like here, I have a trending topics section, which they haven't rolled out everywhere. So Khan just got his dessert.
Yeah,
What did you
I
get?
had it. This is strawberry cream sorbet.
Oh, oh, sorbet. Oh, that's good to help you with a palate cleanser for preparation for your next meal.
Yeah, because it was so I left Vancouver 7 a.m.
Oof.
I arrived Seattle 8 a.m. I sat around for 3 hours for check-in. Checked in 12 p.m. Went around Seattle airport hunting for things to buy. My handbag is always empty because I buy things in the airport.
Ah.
And then I was holding early. So I ran to the gate. I had a bakery in Vancouver. That's it. I was super hungry. So I told them, give me everything.
Give me the whole menu, basically. Well, when you know Khan, you know Khan. But, oh, this is important for what Google has done. So, you know how Google has AI mode and everything as such for indexing. So, I don't know if you saw. So, Google has recently released a feature for creator search profiles, which basically means that if you put a name and it's a content creator, that the results is going to get more precedence and preference, and it will show up differently on search. Like if you type Mr. Beast and everything. And there's actually a criteria for you to claim it. And I actually saw it. You need to have a minimum of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I believe 50,000 followers on TikTok. So it's you meet at least one of those criteria, then you can claim your own profile.
I mean, it's, and they call it create a search profile, right?
Yeah.
It's, again, it's called the medium tier influencers who are just about monetizing the right amount of money
Mm.
at an early stage in life before they become super influencers. And it can be really helpful for people with the followership of
Hmm.
influencers to be able to then to deliver more better or better ways of communication.
Well, yeah. I mean, I will hope and see that I I would imagine. Does Khalifa have 100,000 on his account? So yeah, he should definitely do it. I think I'll tag him and I was like, Khalifa, you can now do this. So maybe go do it. That's why you can claim Mr. Q if anyone searches for it and it just shows him. Uh, Speaking of, at least on AI, I don't know if you saw. So Spotify also has a competitor called Deezer, and given how AI is also people have been debating about the use of AI and everything as such, so they apparently just released a free tool to check for any AI generated music tracks. And it doesn't just work on Deezer; it also can be used with Apple Music and Spotify.
We are moving way too fast, way too quick with AI.
I know.
In today's day and age, we never know what is being created by a living musician in terms of music or being created by an AI track. I remember when I was posting a reel for FIFA for Formula One. So I just gave it themes of how I want it and blah blah blah. So I can use that theme uh, as my music for my reels. Yeah. It gave me 10 different options and 10 different genres of pop, R&B, hip hop, all those things. So I think the way this is moving forward, we need tools like Deezer or anything similar. And that's help identify is this real or is it?
I know I think it's gonna be. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do it for audio, but at least for visuals, it's so easy. It's like, why the hell does this person have 7 fingers, or why does this person's thing visually, I think it's easy to spot it as well, even no matter how much you try to perfect it. But when it comes to audible things, I think it's going to be a challenge. Say now, I know you mentioned you use your iPhone at least for recording this and all, but
I think we should keep the rest of the content for the other episode. Maybe we can do a 2.1, 2.2 later.
you know what? I think, yeah, you know what? But I would love to maybe at least we'll end this on one thing, which I think, especially like I mentioned to you about Khan getting a new MacBook with Air and all. So, you know how for the Windows users, they all either will use an Intel or an AMD machine and everything. And you've now seen how Qualcomm has brought their chipsets to Windows, and apparently they're delivering the long battery life and even performance benefits as well. And now NVIDIA has brought this new chipset on the same path. Uh, do you think, in your view, do you think Intel and AMD are dead?
I don't think they are dead. I think they have reached the saturation point where everyone knows what Intel can do, everyone knows what NVIDIA can do. And the way they are going in the direction now, they're way more focused on business, B2B, than B2C. Right? So, what has NVIDIA in the last year? With all the chipsets and everything launched, does it help an individual?
Well, yeah, they are going first after business concern, because I mean they were like, if I want longer battery life, I still want it to run fast and do all my productivity apps. But you're also seeing the media content apps being optimized for it. Like Adobe has made Premiere and After Effects work really great on Windows on ARM, especially those who use a Qualcomm Snapdragon laptop as well. And DaVinci Resolve right now works also on Windows on ARM. Even with emulation, some of the apps still perform better on those devices than the native Intel apps on the Intel or AMD powered machines. And you've used the Windows laptop. I have, and you've seen just how long they last when you're on battery power, even if you don't use anything intensive.
So,
Yeah, when I hear them sounding like jet engines with the fans spinning up, even on idle.
which reminds me, I should go get a new laptop for me to work.
Oh.
Because mine's making too much noise.
Yeah, save that for your IT department. It's like, yes, my computer is so old now. My policy states that you can replace it, so please get me a new machine.
Yeah, I think they are at that, at the stagnation point, and then more focused on B2B and B2C. And I think give them another year, you'll see something different.
That's true. You never know. Even with the current crunch on memory and storage and chipset production prices going up and up, which does, I would say, lead into my one final point is Apple's CEO recently announced that they may have to eventually raise prices on their products, which includes the iPhone.
People will say buy it, doesn't really.
Yeah, but here's the question. How much of an increase is enough for people to say, okay, you know what, it's inelastic demand, I'll still buy it, to saying, oh hell no, I'm fine with what I have?
I don't know.
I mean, some are saying Apple may add I'm giving the US example. Some are saying that $50 is what Apple may add up to the prices of when they announce a new iPhone and everything. Some are even saying $200. And I was like, that's too much.
Yes, you've been in the US for more than a year, right?
Yeah.
When you go buy a new iPhone, no one buys a new iPhone by itself.
Yeah.
They buy it on a plan. AT&T,
whatever the carrier plan is, but some I've still seen a few people I know buying it unlocked and everything. But you know how the Middle East is obsessed with the latest. Like people who are rich, they will like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's like fine, but it's like
it's not more about being rich. If you remember, iPhone 5, we were in Uridu for launch. I was the first one to get it. I'm not rich.
But the pricing was different at that time.
Yeah, but now it has become a necessity. It has become
Yeah.
a mode of, pride or recognition. Yes, I've got iPhone 17 Pro. What do you have? Actually, I have my iPhone 15 Pro.
Oh, I'm
Works
still
well.
using my 15 Pro. I think it still functions great. And with the next iOS update, apparently they're rewriting everything so that everything works even faster, even as far back as the iPhone 11 Pro.
So you never know. But I think that people will still buy it in others.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait when Apple announces a new iPhone in September, in Techtember. But I guess we will actually end it on that note here. So that's basically been our quick wrap up of what Middle East related news that we could crunch together. Uh, of course, Khan has been on a gorilla thing, especially using his AirPods for that. So that's been great, and I'm sure you'll hear him nicely and clearly. And while you've seen him enjoying his business class meal, uh,
I do apologize for. I thought let's keep it as a blog. So I still have 12 hours, 30 minutes until I'm on the Doha. I'm having a meet. I'm going to finish this recording. Take a nice 6 hour nap. So I
yes, he said
acclimatize
6 hour
myself
nap.
with
You
Doha
mean
time.
not sleep? Yeah, yeah. He's gonna adjust back to Doha time because he lands on Sunday evening. He said 6 hour nap. Naps are usually shorter, like 2 hours or anything. So he's basically sleeping for 6 hours.
Okay. Start myself on first thing.
And then he'll wake up as like, Mr. Khan, what would you like to have before this your descent? Or he'll probably tell them what he wants the moment he wakes up before he goes to sleep.
Also, we have everything the system from one end, I think. So,
See, Khan is that key. Uh, like he knows how to get it done. Of course, not like some uh, people who will go all like, they all act like a bunch of sheikhs or Karens or Kens. Like, do you know who I am? And I was like, but Khan knows, and of course, he has already had one on the menu, so now he has other one items of each to try out before he lands from his return flight back to. Of course, as you can see, 26. We are 2026.
this is the first flight with 26 pajamas.
Khan's also collecting pajamas as well. He's collected F1, and then he's collected the World Cup ones.
I have the pajamas and I collect the activity kits.
Yes,
I,
that as well.
I think one of the videos I'll have a wall filled with immunity kits. So you
You
can,
better.
it is
And pajamas.
helpful. And that, like 5 pajamas in a home, I don't buy any more pajamas. It's always complete pajamas.
Well,
But I,
listeners and viewers, that's it from us. And thanks to Khan for coming on. Especially, we initially wanted to try to record this when he was flying into Seattle, but at least I know he was on a tight round trip because he had to land and then get through and then get on to Vancouver to go support Team Qatar in in the game in Vancouver. Now he can relax and refresh himself, rejuvenate, because then next day when after he lands, he goes home, sleeps, and then he wakes up next day and heads back into office.
the living life of calm. Well, on that
Exactly.
note, I really appreciate and listen support. Over the past week, you've seen a huge interest in everything we do. We would love to know actually what is it that you're liking. Is it us just speaking our minds out because we don't have a this is my studio. Of all the episodes we have, majority of the episodes after recording with you sweet. So this is technically my studio. Yes, it has its own setup. Uh, and we just share and talk about what comes to our mind and what we think is the most happening thing. So we really appreciate your support and keep supporting us. If you like us to, talk on something, just leave us a comment on many other platforms. We'll pick it up and we'll get back to you. That's what from 39,000 feet. I believe uh, just approaching green line or not. So thank you for listening. A good night from my end. for this part.
Even though with sunlight, it's going to be a good night for him, so now he gets to sleep. But thank you for listening and watching. And I'll say it again, if you loved watching this episode up until the very end to this moment, please like and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all, and share it around. We also have a website, and exactly, I'll put it over Khan's head because he has because it's over his head. His head is in the clouds. So exactly. So I'll put that link and everything. Thank you for supporting us. We have 500 plays, so maybe by next year we hit 750 or even 1,000. We don't just chase the vanity metric, but we put content out there to help you guys out.
Take care, look after yourself, and enjoy the FIFA World Cup.
And same from me. Take care and ma salama.